Folks, Joe Baker with Trade Pilot Pro going over what I'm seeing in this marketplace, and we will go over this briefly. One of the viewers had asked me a question about the spiders, and I will get to that right after this. Very similar pattern setup as well, as you can see. Let's go back in time, and let's go back to the 5th here, okay? And we came down to around this 1250 area, which is another big area of support, okay? And these are all big areas of support, folks. So let's go over this one by one. What happens? We made a low here. We had our all the while we were making these lows, okay? Now keep in mind these are half-day charts. The momentum was rising. I don't know if you can see this down below, but the momentum was rising, and we were kind of bottoming out on our triple moving average, rolling up. We had our volume oscillator rolling up. So obviously the market was a little oversold, little lack of sellers, and we rolled up here. And again, at this topping pattern, we came into some selling. Okay, you can see the selling coming in here. You can see we started to lose the momentum on our triple moving average, and the momentum though stayed fairly high for a little bit, but kind of rolled eventually down. Now again, we made a higher low, and we started to roll again here, started to roll up on our momentum, made another high, and then came back down. Okay, and this is on the 13th. Yes, we did 1274.50, and you know I've been screaming for the last 2 weeks about 1274, 1275 area. I've said it 1,000 times. If you haven't heard me enough, just go back into the prior videos that I've been doing over the last few weeks, and I've been screaming out all these areas of support and resistance. I've been yelling about the 1292.50 to 1294. We talked about the 1304 to 1307 area as being a tough area. I talked about the 83.84 area. Underneath the 75, it's going to be 67 to 65, and then underneath that it's going to be 50. Okay, just figured I'd run them down again. But here we go. We came down. We rock bottomed on the momentum. We were obviously having some selling pressures, big selling wave coming in here. We hit it once. We hit it twice. We rallied off it both times. Look at this price rejection. Nice price rejection here on this one bar here. Serious price rejection. Hope you weren't caught short here. And then again, we start to roll here. So here's where we make a lower high, and we start to roll here, and here's kind of a heads up here. And then obviously here we couldn't get enough buying momentum, and you can see the divergence from here down. And albeit now we've touched the 75 level, and now we're higher. So our momentum is higher. So we've got positive divergence, negative divergence, everything every which way. So where do we go from here? We got news in the morning. I want you to watch the morning trade. Remember, folks, if they can't push the market down, they'll push it up. It's always going to go the path of least resistance. So, you know, what I'm thinking here is they will push this market back up one more time, and it can come up to this area again. Okay, so what typically happens in these head and shoulder patterns, which is what this is, and it's got this strong shoulder here, which shows me that it's not, you know, if this was a much weaker shoulder, I'd say this thing's definitely rolling, but this is cause for a little bit of a concern. What can happen is we can go right back up to the upper level of the shoulder and then up to this head again before this market rolls. Now, if this takes out the head, trust me when I say we're going to get a nice run. The run will be about, wow. Yeah, it's going to be good. It will bring us back up to the 1315 area, and then possibly the 1330 area if we do get a run and we break above this head pattern. So just watch these areas. This upper pattern I've mentioned before, 1306, 1305 area. Just watch that for upward resistance, and then watch this head here, okay, which is 1313. Okay, just watch these numbers. It's a 240-minute chart. Do the math yourself. You can see this pattern taking place. Now, if we take out the 75, it's going to get a little ugly. We're definitely going to go down to this 66, 67 area, and then possibly this 50 area. So who knows? We take it, as we know, day by day. We do very well in our room. As you all know, you're all welcome to come in and see how we trade it. All right, I'm going to scoot over to the spiders, because one of the viewers had actually mentioned one of the similar patterns set up on a different time frame. Just hold 1 second while I scoot over there. Okay, here is the hourly chart, and here's another head and shoulders setting up. So what I wanted to show you is that we actually had kind of a head and shoulders pattern on our triple moving average as well. Okay, and you can see we made a higher high and a lower low from here. Okay, from this area here. So from this shoulder to this shoulder, this is a higher shoulder, just like it is on the S&P, although different time frames. But we do have negative divergence down here on our triple moving average. Okay, I just wanted to point that out to you. Here's our head pattern, and the same rule applies. If you look at this trend line drawn from 729, we've made a nice series of bounces off these lows. Okay, now what happened here? We hit it, we rolled, and we pulled up right towards the end of the day. So 128. If you take out 128, you're taking out these two necklines from this mini head and shoulders here. You're taking out the neckline from here and from here, and we will get some movement down. The first stop, as far as your targets go, we'll be looking for some support around the 126.93 area. If that gets taken out, we will go to the next area, and that's 125.69. And then we will come down to the 124.95, 125 area. Again, you can do this on your own. Just go back up. To the upside, we'd be looking for 129.03 to match this upper level shoulder, and also this little hook here. Okay, so right around this area, and then back up again to the 130.05 area. So that pretty much runs the gamut on this. Now, whether this will roll or not, it's anyone's best guess at this point. Remember that 75 level on the S&P futures is very important. If that gets taken out, obviously this will get taken out as well. And if you trade the spiders, these are the levels you're looking at. Okay, and let's go to our intraday levels for us S&P traders. Okay, here we are. Line in the sand, 1282.50. Looking for 1285 resistance, breakout 1287.25. Looking for 1293.50 as an area of resistance, and then ultimate target 1297.75. Extension 1350, 1304.50. To the downside, underneath 1282.50, it's 1279.75. Breakdown at 1276. Now, remember this 1274 or 1275 area. Be highly cautious. If it does break, I think you'll have no problem slicing right down to this 1266, 1267 area. We do have some minor support at 1272.50 and 1269, 1268 area. And again, 1266.50. And if it breaks down through there, just be careful. Just be careful, because it gets down to that 1250 area is the next large area. Okay, folks? So I hope this helps. Any questions, just you can always just send me an email, send me a comment. I'll do my best to answer it right away. And again, trade careful, be safe, and good trading.